book of 1 Corinthians, Paul writes that the gospel is not a matter of talk, but of power. In context, he's talking about true wolves among the sheep, those with bad motives, those who lack love, who are there to destroy the flock. But often we find ourselves dividing over non-essential Christian issues and attacking one another, when Paul says that the gospel is a matter of power. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 3, Jesus enters a synagogue, and there's a man there with a withered hand, and the religious people watch Jesus to see whether he would heal him on the Sabbath, the Lord's day of rest, so that they might accuse him. So he says to the man with the withered hand, he says, "Come here." And he said to them, "Is it lawful on the Sabbath to do good or to do harm, to save life or to kill?" But they were silent. And he looked around at them in anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately held counsel with the Herodians against him, how to destroy him. You see, they didn't care that Jesus had mercy upon this man, that they healed him. They ignored those things. What they were concerned about is that Jesus had the understanding that he shouldn't be doing any work on the Sabbath. Where on the other hand, Jesus said, "Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy and not sacrifice." And you know, there's fellow believers out in the world, people who love the Lord, walking in the Holy Spirit, and they don't have every understanding and every ounce of doctrine right in the Bible. And yet we're attacking them, we're casting them away, we're dividing against them. And now I'm not saying that doctrine isn't important. Doctrine is important. There's essential doctrine that we need to know as believers. Who God is, what He did for us in Jesus Christ, what it means to be saved by grace and not by works. Those things are important, but often it's the little things that we find ourselves dividing about. One person is charismatic and we're not, and we divide with them. One person is Reformed and we're not, and we divide with them. One person is Methodist or Presbyterian or Baptist and we're not, and we find ourselves dividing with them. Meanwhile, there's Spirit-filled believers walking about in the power of the Holy Spirit, making a difference, loving by action, showing mercy and compassion to one another. And we're calling them wolves. And we're sitting back, hard-hearted, and God is angry with us, frustrated with us because of our hardness of heart, because we're not joining hands and making a difference and turning this world upside down, not by talk, though we share the gospel, but by the power of the gospel in our lives.